To all the students, welcome to Global Online. And here we are with our next lecture, that is NTA UGC NET Paper 1 for 2022 batch. Now, as you all know that your exams are just next to corner. So this is a special lecture where we will be completing teaching aptitude entire revision in 60 minutes. So this will help you to boost up your preparation. It will help you to clear all your doubts and prepare you for the upcoming examination. So let's start the session. Before that, as you all know that Global Online has a complete crash course for paper 1, which consists of daily live lectures. It also has revision notes on all the topics, that is called as PDF notes. Last 10 years question papers are available, test series comprising of more than 2,500 MCQs. You will get this all at Global Online app, or you can also WhatsApp us on the given number. Right now, the fees is 3,500, but right now 30% discount is going on. So the fees, you will get this course for the rupees 2,450. We also have, in case if you have to go on Global Online, you can go to Google Play Store, download Global Online app. This is how the interface will look. Register yourself with the mobile number and you will get the course. So once you enter the main interface, you will be getting various, in the content, you will be getting various units syllabus wise, which is consisting of theory lectures, MCQ lectures, notes, mock test, and evaluation test. Evaluation test we conduct daily for specifically for a practice. At the same time, you have paper 2 notes and MCQ available. Paper 2 subjects are listed on the screen, as you can see. The year the cost is 1,500, but here also we have a 30% discount offer going on. So it will be the cost price for this particular course will be 1,050. So in case if you want to speed up your preparation and definitely want to ensure that yes, you have to crack this examination in this coming cycle, you can definitely go ahead with this comprehensive course. At one place you will get everything which is required. So now let's start the session for the day. So total number of questions for this teaching aptitude will be 5. Total number of marks allotted will be 10. So every question carries 2 marks. The syllabus quickly is, we have teaching concepts, teaching concept and objectives. The one which I have highlighted, these are the regular questions which have been seen in university. So these topics should not be left out at all. So levels of teaching, where you have 3 levels: memory, understanding, reflective, characteristics and basic requirement. You have learners characteristics. So characteristics of adolescent and adult learners, but from the viewpoint of academic, social, emotional, and cognitive, including the point of individual difference. You also have factors affecting environment and, institution, which wherein you have learners, the support material, instructional facilities, learning environment, methods of institutions, wherein teacher-centered, learner-centered, online versus offline methods, teaching support system is there, credit evaluation is there, which is talking about elements and types of evaluation, evaluation in choice-based credit system in higher education, computer testing, as well as innovation in evaluation system. So yes, this is a complete syllabus of paper 1, which you have to definitely keep in mind, because certain questions, no, if you're clear with syllabus, the questions are easy to crack. So basically, what is concept of teaching? So concept of teaching is nothing but the ability to teach, which comprises of teaching and aptitude. That aptitude is nothing but natural ability. So when you combine teaching and aptitude togetherly, we get something called as teaching aptitude, wherein how a learner should learn and how a teacher should teach defines how a learner should learn and how a teacher should teach. Same time, if we talk about objectives and aims of teaching, so here definitely one question was very common in recent cycles, and that is not only imparting knowledge. Now this questions you can get in the code format also. So imparting knowledge, modification of behavior. So modification of behavior, it talks about a complete modification, overall development, inculcate the various qualities such as values, leadership, and becoming better citizen. So this is all this is something which is important aspect of objectives of teaching. Now objectives of teaching can be divided into 2 specific groups also, that is the general and specific. So when we talk general objective, it is all round personality with curriculum, that is bringing an all-round personality development along with curriculum. It also talks about shaping the behavior of an individual, that is students you can say, or learner you can say, to adjust the learner to the new environment, to teach them how to adjust to the new environment, to adopt a new environment, to encourage the students to learn, or it can be to create a desire in the students to learn. So there was one question in one of the previous previous year question paper regarding the objective, and the statement was given as the desire, to create the desire to learn. So it is basically desire, or it is to encourage. Then we have something to acquaint them with the content of subject. So the knowledge, subject knowledge of the teacher should be very strong. That is also one of the objective. Specific objectives comprises of critical and logical thinking, to create interest in the studies, to develop understanding, and to develop the knowledge of the students. So when we talk about all this, and when we come to the conclusion on teaching, so teaching is nothing but something, it is interaction between a teacher and a student. They participate for their mutual benefits, and both have their own objectives and target to achieve. So many great teachers of the world define teaching in different way, and we can say that teaching is just to train the students so that they can stand on their own foot in the society. To make, you can also get this sentence in the format: teaching is basically to make every child self it is a self-dependent, or to make every child independent. This is what is the objective of teaching. So teaching comprises of three main aspects. One is the teacher, second is the student, and third is the curriculum, that is education. So I've written both the words because if you get the code questions, so in the code questions they will definitely point out. So you should be regularly we read at was teacher, student, and curriculum, but it includes teacher, learner, and education also. So if you see the variables of teaching, independent teacher is an independent factor, students are dependent on the teacher, and intervening variables are nothing but the curriculum. So this also was one of the question in previous year question paper regarding the variables. So you have to keep this in mind. Now, nature and characteristics of teaching. Now here, this particular statements can be in the form of code questions. So they will give you the characteristics, and you have to ensure that you read them properly. So basically teaching is to guide, to train, to interact, to give knowledge, to educate the students about the subject. It is a continuous process. It has a teacher can teach effectively. It has full confidence. Teacher needs to have full confidence on the subject or mastery of the subject. Teacher should encourage the student to learn, and it can be a formal and informal way. Now this also statement was given in one of the characteristics, whether it is a formal, informal. It is both formal as well as informal. Now how informal? Because certain things, when the child is not able to grasp certain things formally, teacher can just go through the informal way and make sure that the child learns the thing. Then teaching is communication. Teacher imparts information in an interesting way, and yes, it is one of the tool in order to help student to adjust to the society or to adopt the society. So now here again, this was also one of the question wherein they had given very smartly the difference between the terms training, coaching, teaching, and mentoring. So when we talk training, it is to inbuild the skills, knowledge, and attitude. When we talk coaching, it is basically related to the performance or the task. When we talk when we have teaching, it is a formal education, and mentoring is building the capability, that is to mentor in order to become self-reliant, or with respect to career goals, or with respect to removing the mental obstacles. So basically these are the terms where you can differentiate. It can come in mass the following. That's the reason I have highlighted important that is the important statements in the different color. So that much itself you remember, it will be easier for you. Then, yes, a very compulsory question, that is the difference between memory, understanding, and reflective level. Now the questions were in the form of who has developed this level. So memory was by Herbert, understanding was by Morrison, and reflective level was by Hunt. Memory level, which inculcates rote memorization. Understanding levels helps to develop the mastery or the subject knowledge. Reflective level helps to have a research skills in place. Memory level, which is thoughtless, as rote memorization is a part of it, Understanding level, it is thoughtful, and reflective level is most thoughtful. Memory level, where we have here also the question was there in what format, so oral or written type of essay type of questions. Understanding level, which increases of comprehensive and objective type of questions. Reflective level talks about essay and critical and creative skills. So memory level is for lower classes, understanding level is for middle classes, and reflective level is for higher classes. Memory level dominant, it is an authoritarian or a dominant way. Understanding level is, permissive. It is very permissive. It means that the role of a teacher is permissive over here, but in reflective, it is a democratic role. Teacher just has to play a role of a guide over here. Entire responsibility is on the student. So memory level is teacher centered, understanding level is again teacher centered, and reflective level is learner centered. Now, memory level, so in detail also I have given, because in 2019 cycle, these questions were a little bit, twisted. So these statements will help you to remember the things very well. So memory level, as we already learned, lowest level and a thoughtless level, but thinking does not play any role. Student only crams the facts and information. There is, learning by rote format, and the teacher plays a prominent role and student takes the role or secondary role. The material is organized and pre-planned, and the study material is sequential in order to make it easier for the student. Understanding level, it is higher quality, higher quality, which use most of the mental capability or thoughtfulness, and it also established. Now this was a statement which was given in one of the examination of 2019 cycle, that it established the facts, relation between principles and facts, and teach how it has to be applied. So this sentence, please remember, you can make a note of this sentence, because this sentence is basically, it can be in any of the format. They can help you to give this statement. Okay, sentence. Memory level teaching is barrier, whereas, to be crossed with this level. So that barrier can be can be crossed with the help of understanding level. Then reflective level, yes, reflective level is a level which helps the students to solve the real problems. It helps to, come up with a situation, to deal with a problematic situation, to solve the problem, to define or to identify the problem, and to find a solution. The students' original thinking and creative abilities develop at this level. The role of teacher is, democratic, and the student is quite active in this. And it is, the student helps, the reflective level is problem centered, and the student is busy in the original imagination in order to solve the problem. So this is how the levels have been defined. Learners' characteristics. So learners' characteristics are divided into cognitive, personality, social, and physical characteristics. So when we take cognitive, mind plays an important role with respect to aptitude, technology, literacy, whether it is a visual literacy, whether it's a functional literacy, or whether it is a computer literacy, including the learning styles and the prior knowledge. When we talk about personality characteristics, it includes, the attitude towards the content, self-learning, self-esteem, self-belief, anxiety, the locus of control, motivation. When we talk about social characteristics, it includes a relationship with peers, socioeconomic status, attitude towards authority, level of education, and the career. So here also, basically statements are formed, and you are supposed to recognize in the statement format. Statement 1 or statement 2 will be given, and you have to say that whether which is right, which is wrong, or they can even form an assertion or reasoning question in order for you to recognize. So physical characteristics, it includes visual ability, auditory abilities, fatigue, age, and definitely the changes which are bodily observed. Now, forms of education. Yes, formal, informal, and non-formal. There are 3 forms of education. Formal, which provides, which education in school, colleges, and university. Informal education, which is done at the family level, or it is done at the society level, or the peer group, in the form of peer group. When we talk about in non-formal, so non-formal basically is an organized systematic activity where the education is taken in the form of, correspondent courses or courses at a distance level, you can say. So here also normally in one cycle examples were given in the form of match the following, or you were supposed to match it. So just remember, this can be a part of a question. Then coming next is yes, the phases of teaching. So yes, the phases of teaching are divided into three. That is pre-active stage, which refers to planning. So remember, normally, they confuse you. So pre-active is planning, interactive is the conduction, and post-active is the follow-up and consolidation. So these are the three phases of teaching. Individual differences. Now, yes, here the students get confused with inherited and acquired. So inherited, it means the qualities or, the ability of the students, which is differentiated with the physical, mental or temperamental way. Acquired, it is in the form of cultural, social and education or emotion wise. So which is acquired from the maybe, which is acquired from the family or generation. Yes. Now there is one topic that is syllabus and curriculum. So here also you can get a statement question or assertion or reasoning question. So when we say syllabus and curriculum, so on what basis the comparison done, or how you have to remember. So first of all, syllabus is a document that contains a portion which is covered as per the subject, and curriculum is an overall. So syllabus is a part of curriculum, you can say that. Which is taught at the institutional level. Syllabus is a Greek term, curriculum is a Latin term. Syllabus is set for a subject, whereas curriculum is set for a course. Syllabus is descriptive, curriculum is perspective. Syllabus is narrow, has a narrow scope, whereas curriculum has a wider scope. It is set out for examination, exam board, whereas curriculum is set out for an institution, a college, or a government or administration. So syllabus is termed, as it is termed as it's a fixed term, normally a year, and curriculum is till the course last. Uniformity. So syllabus varies from teacher to teacher, whereas curriculum is same for all the teachers. So this is important part, and you should remember many times students are being, confused when this comes as a statement question. So you have to read it very well and understand it, and then attempt the question. Now we have, yes. Now stages of development. So here this 2021 cycle, this question was seen. So you have to, now see this question is there. It means this question can be twisted and be a part of what an upcoming examination also. So you have to remember this question properly. That is Piaget's stages of cognitive development. So at least the stage, the age and the goals you have to remember, that is more important. So sensory motor stage, which is observed from 18 to 24 months, which includes, the object permanence, that is child's ability to know that objects continue to exist even when they are not longer seen or heard. So this, this can be very statement they will be given, and they will tell you to recognize the stage. So you have to be very careful. Pre-operational, which is from 2 to 7 years old, which is symbolic. Concrete, which is from the age group of 7 to 11 years, which is logical, which has logical thoughts. Operational, that is adolescence to adulthood, and it indicates what? Scientific reasoning. So this you have to keep in mind the stage, you have to know the age, and you have to know the goal. So this is what they will capture basically, but you have to, understand it and remember it properly. Now, yes, factors affecting teaching. So this is given in your syllabus only. So here also, you can get a question that, see, this is a syllabus part. So here you can get a question odd man out. So you should remember teacher, learner, that is very common. Support material to teacher student relationship, instructional facilities. Then you have administration relationship, learning environment or classroom, and institutional administrative policies. So let's see one by one. So when we talk about teacher, that is educational qualification, the knowledge, the awareness, the experience of the teacher, the expectations from the parents, skills of the teacher, teaching skills, methods of teaching, approach, how the teacher has an approach towards the students, behavior, the level of adjustment, and the mental health of the students, mental health of the teacher, very, very important. If the teacher's mental health is not in place, it can have an impact on students. So it is very important. Then you have discipline and economic factor. These are the factors which are affected, which are important from teacher point of view. When we talk about learners, so learners' physical and mental health, learners' basic potential, the aspirational level of aspirational motivation or an achievement, goals in life, and the readiness and willpower. So readiness and willpower, again, this point can be very important. So you have to keep in mind. Support material. So audio videos, that is in the form of audio video tutorials, open journal, online tests, and all kinds of teaching aids, increases the effectiveness of the teaching learning process and makes the achievement of learning easier. That is in the form of support material, which is a part of what the instructional facility, you can say. Teacher to student relationship, yes. Now on this part, there are some questions seen, so you have to be a little bit careful. The topic is easy, but the questions are twisted, and many times students are under overconfidence that okay, this particular chapter they can easily cover it, but many times they face with the twist in a very bad way. So this teacher student relationship, where it talks about the rapport, authority, discovery of self towards the adjustment of the environment, relationship, positive relationship in developing the students, and learning, the learning structure with proper positive outcomes. Instructional facilities, so where it has, needed to create a learning facilities such as classroom, laboratories, audiovisual presentation rooms, seminar rooms, libraries, and other spaces to be primarily used for purpose of delivering formal and formal instruction to the students. It enhances even the learning processes. Teacher teacher administration relationship, so it affects the professionalism. Should be, if not properly taken care, it will definitely affect the professionalism. So it should be, not cordial. It is definitely, the aim should be only the education, and hence it should be functional in such a way that there is a balance between the administration and the teacher. The next one we have is instructional facilities. Instruction facilities, which talks about a learning, a need to create a learning facilities in the form of classrooms, that is audio visual, the presentation, the seminar rooms, the libraries, and it enhances teaching learning process. Teacher administration relationship, sorry, this is, yes, I've done this, sorry. Yes, classroom and learning environment. So it should be, in physical context as well as in the form of diverse situation, compared to that of the traditional days. Because it will help, it will facilitate learning. When we talk about administrative policies, it should be such a way that teachers should have an autonomy, means a flexibility to teach the syllabus in her own style, his or her own style, and to make sure that enhancement of learning happens in a positive manner. Now, micro teaching. Now, this is an important part where you're expected to get questions. So basically, what is micro teaching and how it is, what is the objective? So micro teaching is a procedure in which student teacher, the one who is about to become a teacher, that is a student teacher, participates, and it has a reduced number of pupils in order to have to learn the specific teaching skill. So the objectives here are, the teacher has to learn that is, the teacher trainee should learn the skills and should have a mastery over the skills, should have the confidence in teaching, should be know or should be trained to use devices necessary, should have a proper incorporation of proper teaching schedule, and should have teaching, I mean, this is student teaching training technique and not just a teaching technique method. So it should be a students oriented and not only from teaching orientation. So micro teaching, basically, you cannot get the span, but the cycle, that is teach, give the feedback, replan, reteach, refeedback. So the cycle, I mean to say, they can come up with a question of process of micro teaching. So it is teaching, feedback, replan, reteach, and refeedback. Then macro. So there are questions on micro. So macro can be again a part of it. So let's understand even what is macro. So macro, when we talk macro teaching, it is in teaching the entire class, longer than 10 minutes. Basically here it is about the educational needs of the community, integrated teaching, integrated curriculum with the various values, aiming the education, which is to be imparted, and improvement in the teaching learning process. Steps of macro, that is a process. So learning objectives to define, plan out the learning activities, assess the students properly, sequence with the help of meaningful manner, creating a realistic timeline, and to plan for a lesson closure. Now, yes, maxims of teaching. Now, in one or two cycles, this was a little bit given a low importance, but can hit back. So we will just have a look very quickly. So known to unknown, simple to complex, concrete to abstract, particular to general, whole to part, psychological to logical, induction to deduction, empirical to rational, and analysis to synthesis. So when we say known, that is start with what is known to what is not known. Start with simple, end up with complex, start with something which is, very concrete, and take the things to abstract. Start with specific examples and end up with the principle. Start with the Gestalt psychology by first perceive the object and then to the part. Then with the help of mental interest, aptitude, take the students to the logic. Make sure that nothing arrives at a conclusion by observation. So observation leads to conclusion. Students has to be given empirical ideas first and then move to rational concepts, and analysis instruments breaking the complex things into the into the whole idea. So this is what maxims of teachings are related to. Bloom's taxonomy, another hot topic where you are expected to get the question. So first of all, the stages of Bloom's taxonomy that was brought up by Benjamin Bloom in 1956. Remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating the sequence, which are under high orders, which are under lower order skills, which you have to keep in mind. For your understanding, I have given you the explanation also, which we have done in our theory classes also. So you need to remember it very well. Here the questions is the skills, the steps arrangement, what comes under higher and what comes under lower skills. Now, it was been revised in 2001, wherein the highest order is creation, whereas in the old form, earlier, which was been occupied by the evaluation. Then yes, here in order to, some students have doubts with respect to the verbs. So I have just listed all the verbs. You have to just pause here for a minute. So remembering includes what synonyms or similar words, because sometimes they give a question based on that and match the following. So here they can, get you into a problem, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating, and then they will tell you to match the pairs. Same way it goes with this. So I have given a proper chart with the key verbs and with the examples. So here just a pause you have to take, because it is very important. Why? Because you should know the questions. In many of the MCQ crash course practice in cycle 1, cycle 2, I have showed you some questions, based on this particular command verb, the key verbs. So you should know the key verbs and the examples and the level also. Then coming to, yes, so the same thing, but in a different diagrammatic presentation I have given. Now, yes, teacher-centered and learner-centered methods. So teacher-centered methods are one which are conventional. Learner-centered are non-conventional. So basically, teacher-centered, active learners, teachers are active, passive, learners are passive, flexibility is less, no group activities, one-way communication. Whereas in the learner-centered, the focus is on the students as well as teacher. Learners are active, there is a greater flexibility, multiple channel of communication flows, and tutorials assignment plays an important role. Then yes, domains. So we have 3 domains, that is affective, cognitive, psychomotor. So here also we get question, and on domains you get, the questions which I have seen on domains is to arrange the sequence of the domain step. So just now we have done for cognitive. Affective domains, that is receiving, responding, valuing, conceptualizing, and characterizing by values. You can get it in the sequence to order. MCQ I have done with both sequence as well as match the following also. So psychomotor, which starts with imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, and naturalization. So again, I have just repeated this diagram just to make it, little bit recalling. So you know very well in 2001, as per the latest stages, creation is placed an highest, it is in highest one, which is highest level as per the latest, Bloom's taxonomy. Now, affective domain, here also I have given you an examples. What exactly, affective domain, receiving, responding, valuing stands for. Same way, I have given you the examples for the behavior. So in psychomotor domain, what type of behavior is presented? Now see, this is a crash revision. So you should know that these things you should not leave before, revising. Even if you do not get time, these important topics you have to revise where these questions are definitely expected. Then yes, Dave's psychomotor taxonomy. So we have imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, and naturalization as the steps. Then comes our types of evaluation. So when we talk about types of evaluation, here also sometimes students get confused with placement. So this placement is basically referring to the pre-assessment. That is, it is called as what? It is placement as pre-assessment. That is, it is conducted in order to understand the level of students. So placement, diagnostic, formative, summative, non, and criterion. So when we talk about, yes. Okay, so formative, which is basically continuous, which is to identify the gaps and improve the gaps throughout the course. Summative, which is taken at the end, which is definitely, in order to understand the level and skills, and it is cumulative in nature. So this is again another match the following to remember the points very well. So it is formative versus summative, wherein formative, as I said, it is during the learning activity. Summative is at the end activity. In norm reference, a student's performance is compared against the performance of peers, your peer group. That is also important. Many students get confused with this also. Whereas criterion is, it is a comparison of a student against the standard or against the benchmark which is set. Then we have CC, that is continuous and comprehensive evaluation, which is basically in order to diagnose and to bring up the remedies. It is a combination of formative as well as summative evaluation, and it is needed in order to carry out, the continuity and the comprehensiveness of the child. Then we have the choice-based credit system. So under choice-based credit system, we have educational model in the form of core subjects as well as subjects with electives and, skill-based. So it is a convenient platform in order to have flexibility with reference to the selection of the subjects in the form of elective, core, and soft skill, where you have a tutorial and a combination of theory as well as laboratory. Here you can just keep the grades in mind, because I don't know, but it can be a part of a question. So core subjects, elective and foundation. The grade stands with O stands for outstanding, A is excellent, A plus with the grade points. Average, A is very good, B plus good, B is above average, C is average, pass, and then we have fail. So this pointers, that is on the scale of 10. Earlier it was on the scale of 7. So this also you need to keep in mind. Then computer assisted evaluation and computer based. So computer assisted evaluation is basically the things which are uploaded in the form of, the NTA, the way the NTA conducts its examination. And based evaluation, it is the evaluation which is done with the help of OMR answer sheets. So as assisted means with the help, and evaluation, it means with the help of computer, the evaluation takes place. Now, yes, constructive teaching. So here in 2019, there was, a constructive teaching question regarding this sequence. So it is engage, explore, explain, extend, evaluate is the correct order for teaching in constructive approach. Now, constructive approach is nothing but, the learning that occurs actively with the help of meaning and knowledge. And rather than just receiving the information, the teacher plays a role of constructivist over here especially in the teaching learning classroom. Then we have yes, learning disorders. Yes, this is also a part of your match the following. So dyslexia, which is dyslexia is reading, dyscalculia is mathematics, dysgraphia is writing, dyspraxia was basically motor skills, dysphagia is with language, auditory processing disorder is the hearing differences, and visual processing disorder is with the interpreting information. Then yes, pedagogy, andragogy, and heutagogy. So pedagogy, learner is dependent, andragogy, adults are independent, and heutagogy, learners are interdependent. Pedagogy is teacher driven, andragogy is adult and teacher control, and heutagogy is teacher and learner provided. So when we say pedagogy, it is subject centered, andragogy is task centered, and heutagogy is proactive. It is pedagogy is external motivation, andragogy internal, heutagogy is efficacy, that is efficiency. So here also there are questions on pedagogy, that is comparison between andragogy and heutagogy. So you should remember this also. Then blended learning. So blended learning is nothing but a combination of face-to-face and online learning, so which is called as blended learning. So traditional learning, where the lecture is conducted, homework is given. Flipped classroom, where the lecture is conducted and instead of homework, the classroom activities are conducted in the classroom. So that is even basically showing a video to the students is a part of what? Is a part of flipped classroom. The cone of learning, that is Edgar Dale's cone, wherein you have a percentage where 10% of what we read is kept in mind, 20% of what we hear, 30% of what we see, 70% of what we say, and 90% of what we say and do. So this is what about cone of learning. Then you have Swayam versus Swayam Prabha and Moose. So Swayam full form, okay, that is study webs of active learning for young aspiring minds. 24/7 channel it is. It is a massive open online course initiative or holding a courses from 9 to post graduation level. There are lots of questions on Swayam till date. So objective is to ensure that it is students who are deprived are given the learning resources at the same time. It is based because of digital divide. The digital divide should not make any student suffer. So that is to bridge the digital divide gap. Swayam features. So here we have, I have this. I have made 2 slides. One is just reading. Otherwise, if it is difficult, you can go with this. So there are 4 quadrants: assessment, e-tutorial, e-content, and discussion forum. Then these quadrants are like, quadrant 1 is about e-tutorial, where you get all the information. 2 is about the content, which you get in e-format. 3 is about the resources and link, and 4 is about self-assessment in the form of quizzes and assignments. Then there are 7 national coordinators of Swayam, which are listed with their full form and their understanding. So this also you can get a question which is normally used everywhere. So you should remember this very well. That is Swayam national coordinators. Then Swayam, this is easy format where I have given the full form. When it was launched, the principle, assess, equity, quality, objective, just now we did. Then we studied, that is after objectives, we studied the standard from what to what. Registration, if you want a certification, a nominal fees has to be paid for the registration, and which courses are conducted. That also has to be kept in mind, which is very important because Swayam, lot of questions were seen. Then we have next is Swayam Prabha, which is a 34 DTH channel, okay, direct to home channel with a high quality of educational programs with the help of GSAT, that is geostationary satellite. Objectives is to have an equal access education, higher education, live classes, curriculum based courses, and competitive preparation. Here, every 4 hours, the classes are conducted and it is repeated for 5 to 6 times, which gives the convenient time the students to watch, which is uplinked with the help of BSAC, that is Bhaskaracharya Institute for Space Application and Geoinformatics. It is available, the content is provided by the following coordinators. InflibNet is the one to maintain the portal, that is Information and Library Network, and the content is for postgraduate as well as undergraduate level. The disciplines are the following disciplines which are taken care by Swayam Prabha. Then we have Moves, that is a platform which provides unlimited number of students, which is provided for unlimited number of students, and it gained its popularity since 2012. Indian Institute of Technology and Indian Institute of Science. These are the institutions which offer courses free of cost. Okay. Off-learning methods. Now, yes, off-learning methods where teacher plays an important role. Students are not active and it is a good scope for examination. That is to have good marks in examination. Yes, it is easy, popular, marks oriented, but yes, it is resulting into memorization as a disadvantage. Teacher plays an important role, students role is passive, and it is, they cannot be, it will not help to gain any extra knowledge. Online, on the other hand, is computer enhanced. It helps to learn in a self-paced manner, and it is, used for computer. It is essential for the computer networking. So your content is easily available, saves the time, cost, connection, and accessibility is important. Disadvantages is become sometimes costly, health issues, slower, and no personal connection. So this is the easiest form to remember. So this slide is just given so that you can easily remember this very well. Okay. Now, objectives of CEC. Now, yes, so conservatorium of education, the overall need is, promotion technology. It is helping to optimize the effectiveness of the programs. So basically, it is the close coordination, overall guidance, which is taken, taken into consideration throughout the country. And this is important in order to use television as a medium in order to use the information, that is emerging information and communication technology. And yes, the next part is basically the philosophies and approaches in education. So this year also you can see many questions based on this. So basically it talks about idealism, okay, naturalism, pragmatism, constructivism, humanism, rationalism, and empiricism. So when we say idealism, it is basically believing, that is believing real knowledge is perceived in mind and values are absolute, especially, it is a creation of knowledge, spirit, and mind. When we talk about naturalism, so naturalism is something which talks about mind is next to nature. So senses and other sources of knowledge are important. Pragmatism, that is experiencing the ability to solve the problems logically, actively, as well as scientifically. Constructivism helps to generate the knowledge and meaning and their experiences. Humanism helps to study the self and motivate the one in order to achieve the goal. Rationalism is the knowledge which is acquired by reason, and empiricism is something which is, knowledge is derived with the help of senses. Now this is what we have done. Now there is again one topic, that is digital initiatives, which can be a part of your teaching aptitude, which can be a part of your ICT, which can be a part of your what you say is higher education. So tomorrow I will be basically coming up with a special session on digital initiatives, so that digital initiatives will help you to remember the things very well, and it will give you a quick idea. So digital initiatives video will be coming up with next, so that it will give you, a good amount of understanding in order to learn the topic. At the same time, sorry, okay, this is a very crisp video, just to make you recall all the points. So especially, wherever I have not taken a halt with steps and all those, because in the live classes as well as in the theory crash courses, I have ensured that, everything is covered, so that it gives you a recalling. It will help you to understand the topics very well and to put it properly. A quick crisp revision for entire, do watch this video completely, and after that it will be easier for you to solve the questions. Thank you everyone.